I know this is a very sensitive subject about what I'm going to cover here. And this has to do with what we call pets. Okay. Um, See, when I was a child growing up in the 1950s, my parents got me a shepherd, a beautiful German shepherd, and it bit a postman coming through the side of the gate because this dog was bred to protect children, if you will. And so this gets into what we call domesticated animals. You know what a domesticated human is? You put a leash and a collar on a dog, we can put a leash and collar on a human. What's the difference? Particularly if we know how to use technology to make it happen, right? So the reason this sort of came to me is that the house that I'm in here has a beautiful pointer dog. And so this gets into the knowledge that I have because I spent a lot of time studying dogs and what they were doing to people here and what they were doing to everything that is in nature. Now, the reason I'll jump a little forward to this is an experience that I had a couple of years ago with a couple of people that admitted that they, how do they put it to me? We're not monkeys, we're lizards. Okay, so what do lizards do? They sacrifice goats, throw cats in fires. Okay, sacrificing energy, right? And so you begin to realize this lady's really rich. How'd she get all that money? Sacrifices. Really? Yeah. So they happen to have a goat that they were keeping in this small little cage, right? So with me, it's like, you want to be kept in a cage? Now, naturally, you can get into all the jails and the prisons. Ask Russell Means if Indians ever had jails, ever had sheriffs, ever had cops. How come they didn't? They were unnecessary. If you needed a horse to go ride to get to the next town because your horse died or broke down or for whatever reason you needed transportation, an Indian would be more than happy to provide you for what you needed. And why is that? Because Mama Earth will always be able to provide you with everything you need because she loves you. That's what love does. That's what love and service to others is, which means we do not hold energy captive. We do not put things in cages, and I do not put leashes and collars around anything. Because why? Now I'm holding something captive in my memory. Memory, no memory, just being what love is. So I realize how sensitive this is going to be for people that are dog owners that love to have pets around them, right? Because, hey, they got laws that have leash laws. Now, this gets into what we call the deeper side of programming. Because if you got a leash and a collar on something else, then chances are that if something's got a leash and collar around you on a Truven movie set that's telling you got to go here, you can't go here, you got to go here, you got to have a permit to do everything, you're held captive the same way you hold a dog and a cat captive in a cage. And that's called time card programming. And those are called gearheads or clock heads. You're running on a time clock because you're never catching up to zero. So I realized as a child when I was growing up, I don't want to hold anything captive. That's why I spend all my time in nature, because I want to experience what it's like to experience a hawk or an eagle or a deer or a moose or a whale. I want to experience them exactly the way that they are experiencing what they are when they're free. So I don't put animals in zoos and the rest of that. But you can see why they were bred to be pets, to be domesticated, the same way they domesticate humans. Now, this is what we call reverse programming, by the way. And that's a whole nother subject on how deep that goes, otherwise known as reversal currents, which means you're going in the other direction. Because if you're holding other things captive, you're holding yourself captive by the energy you're holding captive by holding it in memory. See? Now, this is where I said on my last video about get rid of the phone. Right? Can you go without the technology that Terence McKenna one time said was a novelty? So one of the things that these salesmen, which are called circus tents, the stage, the Roman howling arenas, is amusement parks. Okay, to keep people what? Mass distractions. Because while you're being distracted, they're wringing their hands in their laboratories, finding ways in which they never lose control of you. Because if you begin to realize, because your intelligence and your awareness is moving at a higher rate of speed, because you got a soul and you got a spirit, and you realize what they're working on, now you get into the speed differential of learning. A higher speed ratio potential curve space vector of learning faster than a machine, instead of the machine controlling what you are. That's an AI. And they use technology, communication platforms in which to do it. So the question then becomes, because I tested myself on this, can I get rid of my phone? And what I was looking for was to examine myself to see what my reaction state was going to be. Can I let go of it? Yeah. Now it took about 3 days, roughly about 3 days. And naturally, I'm getting all these thought form algorithms that come through the AI that I know that are not my thought form patterns. Oh man, it's like another addiction. It's like another addiction, addicted to cars, addicted to phones, addicted to everything. And they love people that are addicted to everything that they put and they present to us. So they know how to manipulate consciousness. They know how to manipulate your mind by what they present. So when I realized this as a child, chuck it all in the dumpster. It's all nothing but a Truman Show. They're fake directors trying to engineer as architects the future that we experience, which is not free will. That's the illusion of free will through the use of their technology. So you got to step it up. Speed of your learning. And the easiest way to do that is by running a high-speed transmitter, because now you're far more aware of everything that they're doing. As a matter of fact, you can see what they're planning on the future that you can see as a result of what they do now, particularly when they know how to erase memories, erase history. And one of the beautiful examples in that is when you go talk to a Navajo code talker, and why their code was never broken, which is called the language of DNA, so that they're not held captive by demons, vampires, psychopaths, AI integrated technology to control what it is you experience through your mind. That's a psycho pathway. That is not a spiritual pathway. That is what love is, that goes on forever, loving you all. To be free. And so that's one of the beauties of being what love is there is no illusion. What it is, you are an energy that frees your spirit. Because now you are what love is, and that's the most powerful energy that grows a plant, grows a flower, grows a child, and grows a universe that is in love with itself. Right? Have a great day. I love you all. Be good to yourselves.